What's good? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. We're going to get into TNA Impact from March the 27th, 2025. An okay show for the most part. We are on the road to Rebellion. We have about 3.5 weeks left until the show. And on this show, we got a couple of matches announced for that show. So that's really cool there. Rebellion should be a big event. Hopefully we get some surprises and stuff that show up on Rebellion versus waiting until Slammiversary to do the surprises. So hopefully TNA, follows through with that. Before we get into the review, I want to send our thoughts and condolences to Dixie Carter. She lost her mom this week on Monday. Janice Carter. May she rest in peace, may she rest in power, and may she rest in paradise. So, we got to talk about Gail Kim getting fired. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on it. She got fired on Tuesday, and a lot of TNA fans are in their feelings for whatever reason. I have no idea why. They should have saw this coming a mile away because I did. Ever since they got rid of Scott D'Amore last year, TNA has been focused on rebuilding themselves from the ground up. And that's what they're doing. They've gotten rid of talent. They got rid of also, backstage talent. And they got rid of creative talent. So, we all saw this coming. Those of us, who had to use our brains, we saw this coming. Am I upset about it? No, not really. Gail Kim, she'll land on her feet. She could either go back to WWE and probably do some stuff in NXT on the women's division, serve as a creative writer in that department, or be like a GM or something like that, maybe. Or she could go to WoW and do the same thing there. Or she could go to AEW and do the same thing there. So it doesn't really matter where she goes. She's still probably going to want some type of creative control. That's what Gail Kim did best. It is what it is. But it happens. TNA is looking to better themselves. And that's fine. It makes perfect sense. So, TNA is going through a serious rebuilding / remodeling phase. And it's going to take time. But Gail Kim wasn't the only one that was fired. There was a couple other people on the creative side that was fired. Who got fired as well. And I believe that Delirious, he's going to be a part of the creative writer team now. So it's going to be him and Tommy Dreamer working together for now. I could see Tommy Dreamer being let go as well. So I don't think that he's safe in that regard. I just don't. I feel that he's trying to be the last one that they get rid of from the Scott D'Amore regime. And, it is what it is. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. All right. So we kicked the show off with the first match of the night. Gigi, Dolin, and Tatum Paxley, a.k.a. Chemical X, they were defeated by the Elegance brand. Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance. So that's cool there. It makes sense. I'm pretty sure this is going to lead to like a 4-woman tag at Rebellion. It's going to be the Metaphor Girls, Chemical X, and Spitfire, as well as the Elegance brand. So we'll probably have like some multi-female tag match, probably like an elimination tag match, something like that, I guess. I don't know. But that's fine there. It makes sense. So it's good to see Gigi on TNA. That's great. That's great. Moving on. So this leads us into Gia Miller. She had a backstage interview with Leon Slater. He talked about his match later on tonight. He's going to get his revenge on Nick Nemeth for what he did to the Hardyz. Okay, that's fine there. Moving on, so this leads us into the 6-man tag. The Aztec Warriors, which consist of Chavo Guerrero Jr., Octagon Jr., and Laredo Kid, they defeated First Class and Frankie Kazarian. So AJ Francis and Casey Navarro. Okay, this is fine. So Chavo Guerrero got the win. Massive pop when he hit the Three Amigos. That was great. Then he hit the Gory Bomb, followed up by the Frog Splash for the 1, 2, 3. Great stuff there. Nice. Excellent. Good shit. Good shit. What was not good was this worthless war of words that took place between Sami Callihan and Mance Warner. So basically they were handcuffed, and Santino wanted them to get out what they had to say to each other. So they just basically just jaw jacked and everything else. So Stephanie, no, my bad. Step the Lander, she splashed water on the face of Sami Callihan. This pissed him off. He was about to hit her, but referees restrained him and everything. So apparently they're going to continue this boring feud. I don't care about this. I don't. I think Mance Warner is okay, but he's been there for about almost a month and a half, 2 months. He came in late January, so I don't know. It's going to take time for me to warm up to him. He seems interesting, but, it is what it is. And Sami Callihan is just fucking trash. That's exactly what he is. Just fucking trash. All right, moving on. So this leads us into Mance Warner and Sami Callihan. They had a backstage segment where they both were handcuffed. Santino Marella had security guards there to make sure that there was no physicality that took place. So they basically just speak their piece. So Step the Lander, she speaks up and says they talk about possession being 9/10 of the law when discussing their digital media championship. Santino speaks up and says that they need to promise not to damage any more company property or put any civilians in danger. Sami then calls Step the Lander a skank, and then she throws a drink in Sami's face. And this pisses off Sami Callihan. So Santino tells both of them to leave and stop. And then Step the Lander and Mance Warner, they kiss. Okay, who really cares? Not that important. Moving on, Masha Slamovich, she defeats JC Jane. This was a pretty decent match here. Towards the end of the match, Masha hit a very nasty running knee strike, which that should have been the 3, but it wasn't. She was going for the record for most of the match, but JC kept reversing and getting out of it, and then she finally won via the snowplow. Okay, that's fine. Tessa Blanchard, she showed up and she put her hands on Masha, and then Zaya Brookside and Zaya Lee Ying Lee, they came out to make the save. All right, good shit there. That's fine. Moving on. So, Mike Santana, he's out for revenge on Mustafa Ali. He vows that he's going to hurt him and embarrass him. Okay, makes good sense. Good shit there. Moving on, Eric Young defeats Ace Austin. Who gives a shit? Fuck this and fuck Eric Young. Ace Austin deserves better. So, this leads us into Joe Hendry. He comes out, gets a good reaction as per usual. So, Joe Hendry reminds everyone he's willing to defend the TNA World Heavyweight Championship against anyone from any company. All someone has to do is pick up the phone and tell Santino Marella they want a shot at the champion. So Elias shows up. He tells Joe Hendry he's not coming out here because he's the next title challenger. He assures Joe Hendry that he too believes in Joe Hendry. Elias assures him that he can trust him. He says they became friends. He knows Joe Hendry's favorite color is blue, and he likes classic movies. Then Elias goes on to suggest he that they perform the, my bad. So, Elijah goes on to suggest, that they perform the favorite song from Joe Hendry from a movie he loves, Toy Story. So they sing, You Got a Friend in Me, which is good. So Frankie Kazarian, he shows up, and he says, see all this Hall and Oates nonsense? He settles inside the squared circle with a guitar of his own strapped around himself. He tells Joe Hendry and Elijah that they are legitimately accomplished musicians, but everyone knows real men play bass guitar. So Frankie Kazarian plays Luchacha on his bass. The crowd chants, "You suck." So Kazarian plays another offensive song, and the crowd boos again and everything. Joe Hendry stands up for the crowd and tells Kazarian it's time that he leaves. Kazarian speaks up and tells Joe Hendry that he doesn't trust Elijah, and tells Elijah that he knows that he secretly hates Joe Hendry's guts. He tells him that they need to be men for once and skip all the past. And skip past all the nonsense and beat the crap out of each other right now. So they beat up Frankie Kazarian, and that was that. So it seems like what they're probably going to end up doing is they could do Elijah and Joe Hendry, but to me, that's a little bit too early to do. I would like that to take place at Slammiversary, in my opinion. Elijah just got there. Hopefully Santino ends up coming out and forcing Frankie Kazarian to face Joe Hendry at Rebellion, so he can fail having this Collier Shot Gauntlet trophy. He's had the shit for about 6 months? No, since October. So that's well over 6 months. So I have no idea, why they're still trying to prolong that, Main event of the evening, Nick Nemeth, he defeats Leon Slater with the help of his brother Ryan Nemeth. Really solid match there. So Ryan gets involved. He grabs the foot of Leon Slater. Nick Nemeth hit the super kick. He followed it up with the Danger Zone for the 1-2-3. They were about to beat up Leon Slater some more, but the Hardyz, they returned to a massive pop to make the saves. So Matt Hardy gets on the mic, says they aren't medically cleared yet, but they challenge the Nemeth brothers to face them at TNA Rebellion. And the crowd pops, and then that was it. So this makes sense. I forgot to mention that the System, they were on this show. So basically, Eddie Edwards, he came out, and he ran down all the members of the System, saying that they gotta do better. Things haven't been the same, saying, since they were on top last year, and really things all went downhill when Moose lost to Obafemi at Roadblock. So, Eddie was just, he spent most of the promo just making fun of the System, trying to make them do better, saying that next week is going to be System fired or whatever. So, is this important? No, not really. It seems like they're going to turn Eddie into a babyface. Who cares? Fuck Eddie Edwards. Fuck the System. They're not important. This is a waste of time. And I don't understand why TNA is doing this. This makes no sense. I mean, unless they're going to add new members and stuff like that, I don't see the point of doing this. This is a waste of time to me. But it is what it is. It's really not that important. I just don't understand why they're doing this. I don't. So, it is what it is. The matches were okay. But, what's done is done. But what did you guys think of TNA? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.